Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudire. Now we continue back in our Shanti Parvam in Mahabharatam. We stopped last time when Yudhishthira is accompanying, he is led by Sri Krishna, and they are all going to visit Bhishma. Janmejaya asks Vaishampayana, Sharatalpe shayanastu Bharatanam pitamaha Kathamutsrishtavan deham kamcha yogamadharayat. Sharatalpe shayanastu, sleeping on the bed of arrows. The great grandsire of Bharatavamsha, in what manner did he abandon his body, O sage? What yoga did he adopt? As somebody was saying, it is calling this the bed of arrows. It's an insult to the bed, it's an insult to the arrows, it's an insult to Bhishma. It's a terrible situation that he's lying in. Sharadalpe Shayanastu, as if he's lying down in a Dunlop pillow. Right, anyway, so that's what he asks. So Vaishampayana tells Janmejaya. Vaishampayana replies, King, with a pure heart and with one pointed attention, listen to the noble chronicle of Bhishma leaving his body. Dakshinayana was soon to give away. Uttarayana was to come. And when Uttarayana comes, Bhishma is going to leave his body. That will be on the month of Magha, during the Shukla Paksha, on Ashtami Tithi, on Rohini Nakshatra, during the middle of the day, what we call as Bhishmashtami, the day next to Ratha Saptami. Even as Bhishma lay on the bed of arrows, the sun was up, and the arrows glittered in the sun, looking like rays emanating from the Bhishma sun. Bhishma was systematically, he had absorbed his mind in dhyanam as he lay there, going towards his final moments. Atmanam atmanyeva samahita. Atmanam atmanyeva samahita. He had absorbed, he had dissolving himself in himself. And knowing that Bhishma was going to leave the earth, the all-knowing rishis, the sages, all over the world came to know that the sun of Bhishma was about to set. So they came from all over. From all over they just came. And they all came and sat down around Bhishma. Who came? Vyasa, Narada, Devasthana, Vatsya, Ashmaka, Sumantu, Jaimini, Paila, Shandilya, Devala, Maitreya, Asita, Vasishtha, Vishwamitra, Harita, Lomasha, Dattatreya, Brihaspati, Shukra, Chavana, Sanatkumara, Kapila, Valmiki, Tumburu, Kuru, Maudgalya, Parasurama, Trinabundu, Piplavada, Vayu, Samvarta, Pulaha, Kacha, Kashyapa, Pulastya, Kratu, Daksha, Parashara, Marichi, Angira, Kashyapa, Gautama, Galava, Dhaumya, Vibhanda, Mandavya, Dhaumra, Krishna Anubhautika, Uluka, Markandeya, Bhaskari, Purana, and the Paramadharmika Suta. And along with all of them, Sri Krishna. All of them came. And here he was, and he had no knowledge that all these people are around him. He is lying in the arrow bed. These and all these Mahatmas who had complete control of their senses, all of them were endowed with all the lakshanas of Ashtanga Yoga. They gathered and they sat around Bhishma, and amidst them Bhishma looked like the full moon amidst stars. The tiger among men, Bhishma, lying on the bed of arrows, with his heart, mind, speech, senses all united and held fast in contemplation of Bhagavan Sri Krishna, started singing. He started singing in a firm and healthy voice. He started singing the praise of Sri Krishna. Hands folded, he sang the praise of Madhusudana. Yogeshwaram Padmanabham Vishnum Jishnum Jagatpatim Vasudevam. And what he sang that day is known as Bhishma Stavaraja. Stava means stotra, a song of praise. Stavaraaja means the emperor of all songs of praise. There are so many stotras in the world. Of them all, this is called the Stavarajam. Bhishma Stavaraja. It is a shining gem in Mahabharata. And since Bhishma sang this Stavarajam before he abandoned his body, there is a tradition in our land that people do contemplate and study this verses towards the end of their lives. Bhishma was with his heart in contemplation of Sri Krishna. He started it by invoking Sri Krishna in his mind and said, with the desire to offer worship to Sri Krishna, I now commence to employ my voice. My expression of prayer, whether it be elaborated or be limited, however it may be, may it please Sri Krishna. Priyatam Purushottama. He's not sure how it's going to be. Whether he'll be able to sing elaborately or in summary. He says, whatever it is that comes out of my mouth now, may it please Sri Krishna. There's a great sage of our tradition here called Appaya Dikshidhar. Appaya Dikshidhar once wanted to test how constant and how his mind was under all circumstances. So he was a Sarvatantra Satantra, he knew all. So he asked one of his disciples, and they made a herbal concoction which was an intoxicant. He said, I will take it and then write down whatever I say. And then later to give him an antidote. And he took it. And then he started chanting the praise of Shiva. Atmarpana Stuti, I think it's called. It's supposed to be beautiful. It's a beautiful stava. Kata 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 kata, he just went off. Like that. He doesn't know what is going to come out. This is a test he is doing on himself. like a researcher testing, experiment, saying note down the values. Test it. Great soul. Likewise, he says, I don't know whether what I am going to say is then, Sri Krishna said he is now subsiding like the fire subsiding, no? In that state, when what control is there of the mind, you are already so many days of lying in utter pain. Nothing is there, but he is tiger among men. Priyatam Purushottama, he starts. Shuchim Shuchipadam Hamsam Tatpadam Parameshtinam Yuktva Sarvatmanatmanam Tam Prapadye Prajapatim. He starts by surrendering. Tam Prapadye. I surrender to him. To whom do I surrender? Shuchim, he who is holiness itself. He who is holiness itself. Shuchim, Shuchipadam Hamsam. To attain whom the path is also holy. Shuchipadam. Shuchim, Shuchipadam Hamsam. Hamsa, you know, sage. Parameshtinam, Hamsa Swarupam. Yuktva Sarvatmanatmanam Tam Prapadye Tat Padam. He says, Tat Padam. Sri Krishna is the meaning of the Tat Padartha in the Mahavakya Tattvamasi. That thou art. Who is that? That Sri Krishna. Tat Padam Parameshtinam. To that greatest of great, God of gods, I surrender. To whom do I surrender? Sarvatmanatmanam. I surrender to Sarvatma. Sarvatma is the self of all. Is the one self in all. So it begins with surrender to the self, Sarvatma. He will end also with Sarvatma. We shall come to that, perhaps in the next class. So he starts by surrender to Sri Krishna, but then he says, who is to understand Sri Krishna? Anadyantam param brahma nadeva narchayo viduhu ekoyam veda bhagavan dhata narayano hari. Anadyantam param brahma, he who has no origin, who has no beginning, who is the Parabrahman, who is not understood by devas, by God, by the celestials, nor by the rishis themselves. If there is anyone who understands Sri Krishna, ekoyam vedo. If there is anyone at all who understands Sri Krishna, it is Bhagavan Hari, Sri Narayana alone. No one else can understand him. Devadanava Gandharva Yaksharakshasavannaga Yam na jananti ko yesha kuto va Bhagavaniti. Not the Devas, not the Danavas, not the Gandharvas, nor Yakshas, nor Rakshasas, nor the serpents, Nagas. None of them know it seems. Who is this Sri Krishna? They will not know. Ko yesha. They'll think he is one of the kings. Ko yesha. Kutova Bhagavaniti. From where is he come? Nobody knows. Yasmin Vishwani Bhutani Tishtanti cha Vishanti cha Gunabhutani Bhuteshe Sutre Manigana iva. Yasmin Vishwani Bhutani. All the beings that exist in this world, where do they exist? Where do they get dissolved? Where from do they come? All of them come from him, from that Sri Krishna. How are they in him? Gunabhutani bhuteshe sutre manigana iva. All the beings, what characterizes all creation? The three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas, characterizes all creation. All these creatures are bound in that Sri Krishna. How? Like gems are tied in a string. Sutre manigana iva.